Hey everybody, welcome to TV Little House with a super awesome Marvel-centric crossover with Comicstorian. Benny, thank you so much for joining us. This is literally just a reaction video to Guardians of the Galaxy. We all just saw Guardians of the Galaxy. Not together, obviously. Some of us are not in New Jersey, although I did bring 50% of my co-hosts from, so 75% of us. No.
Like,
are you trying to do math at midnight?
75.
Yeah, 2/3 of us are here.
Yeah, we are 66.6666666.
Repeating, of course.
Sorry, is he just gonna keep going, or are we gonna repeat this?
It's very Groot-centric here. We're gonna have to move on, but yeah, shit. So yeah, Benny, since you're our guest this evening.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes. What were your initial thoughts and impressions of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I hated it.
No.
Yes, I'm not even kidding. It
Really?
was okay. I thought as a movie by itself, if I knew nothing about the Guardians, and keep in mind, I just did an origin story for every member of the Guardians plus the first issues, and I know the entire history at this point.
Exactly.
If I didn't know any of that, then I would have been happy with it. I would have had no issues with it. Knowing how everything is supposed to go. Because this isn't like we rewrote Iron Man's alcoholism to take place over the span of a week, or Captain America conveniently, you know, the whole Winter Soldier thing is just being bumped aside. This is like complete rewrites of the character of the source material.
Oh, definitely.
Very true.
And I mean, I liked the rewrites, but knowing the original, and I don't see why some of that couldn't even been played in. Why some of that got written out to begin with.
Yeah. I see your point.
I also didn't like the fact that it really didn't tie into the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even the end bumper, which, by the way, I guess we should do a little alert. Spoilers, you know?
Yeah, let's. You know what? I'm gonna throw up a little spoilers thing here, and then there'll be a timestamp that'll appear that I'm gonna throw in post,
And
Okay.
skip
that you can skip to get past all the spoilers, and that'll probably be the end of the video. But yeah,
All right.
figure it's only fair.
Right.
But from this point on, spoilers galore. So kick it off.
Okay. Well, the end bumper. It was Howard the Duck and the Collector, and that was
That was
stupid.
disappointing.
It was like, oh, it was cool to see Howard the Duck in CG and actually like a real person in the movie. But the fact that it didn't tie into anything, we didn't see the Collector go, oh, I happen to have another Infinity Gem over here. We didn't see something else got free. I was like, but that doesn't tie in. And the way the movie's left hanging, it closes out entirely, which I'm happy about, because if the movie doesn't do well, we'll never see a sequel.
That's right.
But one thing I did wonder, and I need to get both of your guys' opinion on this. Do you think that they're leaving the whole mystery of his dad a mystery because they're going to change it?
Yeah.
Or do you think that they're leaving the mystery of his dad the way it is, just in case you're a moviegoer and you don't know his dad is the Emperor of Spartax?
I think it's going to be a little from column A, a little from column B. I think they're going to, like, probably the most of it, like I think Peter Quill's dad being Jason of Spartax, I think that's totally going in there. I think that his dad being kind of a dick will be a big linchpin.
Well, they even said that. They said, "Oh, that guy's a dick." But when they looked at his DNA, they said you're an ancient race. You know.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's just their way of kind of
like justifying the Spartaxians.
Yeah, number one, making the Spartaxians not like not part of this galaxy that has a diverse spectrum of aliens and species. It was weird to not even have them referenced at all.
Yeah, well, that's why I found it weird. Like, they didn't reference them. They didn't reference his dad. We got rid of the Badoon origin, which I guess you have to because
apparently they weren't allowed to have the Badoon. So
right. So okay, I'm fine with them getting rid of them for that.
Yeah, it was no sense. Fucking
you're doing Guardians of the Galaxy and you're not putting the Badoon.
Well, who has the Badoon? Like, was it Fantastic Four?
It's Fantastic Four, apparently.
That was like what? There was like a $75 check.
Apparently, it's because, apparently it's like the Badoon first showed up in Fantastic Four, so it's a Fantastic Four property. But it's like the situation of Deadpool. Deadpool technically showed up as a Wolverine character in an X-Force and an X-Men, but he's been a solo character now for like 15 freaking years. The Badoons have been a part of the Guardians for like 15 freaking years.
Yeah, the Badoons are integral to the Guardians. Also, I had heard a recent thing that the Skrulls might actually be a Quicksilver Scarlet Witch kind of situation with Fox and Marvel Cinematic, and that it's only the Super Skrull that Fox has total control and rights to. Which, by the way, they can fucking keep it.
Yeah, that guy's horrible.
He is so stupid. You mean to tell me that, oh darn, you mean the Marvel Cinematic Universe won't be able to have access to the rich, lustrous history of a Skrull who stole the powers of the Fantastic Four?
And then
I don't
failed
care.
horribly to use them?
I'll keep the Skrulls if you know what? Take it. Like, you can have it for free. Give me 10 seconds. Give me one line that references Galactus and you can have him forever.
One line.
All we need is one guy to go like, holy shit, Galactus ate a planet. All I want. I don't even necessarily want to see Galactus, but I want acknowledgement that he is part of this universe. It kills me that we got Thanos, we got the Kree, we have the Nova Corps.
Yeah, the Nova Corps.
Saw people in bucket heads and the stupid Brainiac symbol. Like, we got everything. And
for the record, I was dying for a reference to Richard Rider.
We weren't getting it. I knew we weren't getting Richard Rider. I
was dying for a reference. I'm like, come on, just go ahead and tell me that the fat police guy is Richard Rider. I'll accept it.
Right. Yeah. John C. Reilly can be Richard Rider. I don't care. Furthermore, can we talk about the Nathan Fillion cameo? Because
I didn't see it. I was looking.
No, none of us saw it. We have to assume it was Howard the Duck.
No.
Because it wasn't Cosmo, because Nathan Fillion said he wasn't playing Cosmo.
Which was stupid.
Didn't talk.
Cosmo didn't talk.
Yeah.
And honestly, my money was on Nathan Fillion being Jason of Spartax. That was going to be the cameo. That he was going to be like the guy. That he was going to be his dad.
Yeah.
I'm reading it right now, but while I'm doing this, since you and I even though you seem to love it like I did, you're still nitpicking the stuff that they blew out the water.
Oh, I don't. I mean, we're in the nitpicking zone. Once we get back to what did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy, I will gush all over the camera.
Did you have anything to nitpick about Ben? Because you're the guy who just all you know is what's come out, right?
It's true.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the beginning with his mom, and the fact that he gets picked up by this random spaceship, and it's not the Spartaxians.
Yeah. When he picked him up, I thought it was his dad. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly. and I thought, oh wow, this is really impressive. The second his mom dies,
they pick him up.
There's oh man, had we come when your mom was alive, she would have kicked our ass.
She was a hard bitch.
In the middle of that.
They're waiting on the outskirts of space for 20 years, waiting for her to pass away. Don't want to have that awkward moment.
I mean, and that wasn't really much of a nitpick for me. I felt like it was more like, you could explain that away by having Jason be like, oh no, I had a thing, I put a thing in your mom that told me if she you were better off being here, but once she died I was gonna come get you. But I'm too busy being an asshole, warmongering douche up on Spartax, so I hired Yondu and the fucking motley crew of space nozzles to go pick you up, who and never did. Never dropped him off. I love that.
Yeah. Well, okay. I need to ask this, because you know a little more about the Cosmos than I do, okay? Ben, I'm a little on your boat. The only reason I know more about the Cosmos now is because I've been doing a lot of research about it just for the channel recently. So, is Yondu in anything outside of this movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Yondu's a major player in particularly the Dan Abnett run of Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been actually... I think Yondu was actually one of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. That comic we have in the beginning of our first episode of...
Was he the Archer guy?
I think he's the Archer guy. Yeah, I think he's actually the Indian Archer guy. The guy we couldn't name anybody on the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Yondu was
one of them. Which Reddit hated you for. So.
Yeah, and one guy on Reddit was like, fuck you both. And I was like, or three, you three. Do you comic? And we were like, yes.
No, we make shows and completely off the hip. Just... This cover looks cool. Let's go with it is. The Nathan Fillion cameo is the voice of one of the prison guards knocked aside by Groot. It's been revealed 2 days ago by Escapist. It is recent reports confirmed that Fillion's role in the film is limited to voicing an inmate who is quickly dispatched by Groot and Rocket Raccoon during the prison sequence.
That's weird.
That's not a cameo.
No. And he says he did it as a favor. How is that even a favor?
Yeah, no, you could have. Then Fillion stole an inside joke that one of the the SFX technicians could have done. It's just a yell. That's not anything.
You know what that's similar to? That's similar to Nathan Fillion stopping by and giving someone a sandwich and being like, "Oh, we got a cameo in the movie." he fed someone a sandwich for a day.
Yeah, his efforts fueled the performance from this character. Like that's garbage.
Maybe he didn't even voice it. Maybe they just called him up. Hey, can you just act like you got thrown aside real quick, and we'll just record it.
Can you just say
Oh, all right. Thanks. That's great, Nathan. Thanks.
Yeah, well done.
You guys want a second take? I can do it. No, we're good with the first.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks on toast.
That's even worse than Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
and
that's
Howard
worse
the
than
Duck
Howard
was
the
lame.
That pissed me off. I waited to the end of those goddamn credits, waiting for like the collector to find another gem, for Thanos to show up and be like, "Nova Corps, you're done," you know, something like that. Howard the goddamn Duck.
Howard the Duck.
And it's not even like it was hinting at we're gonna have a Howard the Duck movie. You know they're not gonna do that again.
No,
I really hope not.
I don't know that. Also, the CG for Howard the Duck was like, eh.
Yeah, it wasn't even that great.
I saw like a whole fucking movie with awesome CG that looked great, and then you gave me this shitty Howard the Duck cameo. I mean, even Cosmo was a real dog. Like, it looked great. Disappointing.
I can't believe Cosmo didn't talk at all.
I'm disappointed.
That was such a letdown.
Yeah,
he barked.
He barked. Yeah,
he barked at Rocket.
He licked the collector's face. I was actually really happy to see that they changed the collector's voice a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like it
from the cameo.
Yeah, the cameo in the first one was like
in Dark World was like, what the hell?
He's really fucked up.
Yeah, it's almost like that was the role he used the whole movie, and then like in post, the studio was like, you're gonna have to fix that shit. Like, dub over him. I don't care, but we're not doing whatever Benicio thought was hilarious. I don't think so.
He's not being some weird.
Yeah, you're not doing your Usual Suspects thing where you're playing a character I can't understand.
Right.
We need you to say shit I can hear. I was also, but okay, so
let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Let me get both of your guys' opinions on the fact. How do you feel about the origin changes?
I'm fine with it. I don't care.
You're fine with that because we're nitpicking right now.
I'm fine with it. I'm sad. Like,
the biggest one I think was Drax. Drax is an actual alien race now.
Drax. Yeah, Drax isn't like a human spirit. Like, I was kind of excited to see Drax be like, hey, a human, what's going on, man? Like, my name used to be this. And then Thanos killed my family, and now I'm in this body. Like, what's up? No. That said, I liked the Drax character.
Oh, I did. They did make him really stupid, though.
It was...
He was just simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was simple, yeah.
I think that was the direction, and that's their character, apparently, because it's like, no, this guy's a barbarian. All he does is swing and yell and be like, rah!
Yeah.
He's just going to be honest every single time he talks.
Yeah, I like it. I thought that was cool. I liked his character arc. I thought he was really, like, fun. Like, Bautista, whatever his name is, really, like, you didn't expect him to be good because he's just, like, a wrestler guy.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting much out of him other than just roar.
Though I did.
He's really good.
I read an interview with him, and, like, I don't normally read, like, Dave Bautista interviews, but he made a comment, like, when he got the role and he read the script, he was like, oh, shit, I better learn how to act. And he took a whole bunch of acting classes because he didn't want to fuck the movie up. And I was like, I'm going to give this guy a shot because he seems like he really, really wants to make a good movie. And kudos to him. And I think it really paid off.
I mean, and what did you think about Vin Diesel's wonderful acting job?
Oh, Groot was fun. Groot was a great addition to the show.
There were a few times where I heard it, and I was like, that really is Vin Diesel talking.
Yeah. And I think he really did play Groot. I think he really was there, like, on the stilts and shit. I thought that was really cool.
Right. No, yeah, apparently he was, like, the body double for the actual thing. He actually was there.
That's awesome.
The facial features, like the grin after he slammed everyone around. And I felt like they made him a little too simple, though. He's supposed to be really intelligent behind the fact that he can't talk.
Yes, they definitely changed the Groot character again for like
exactly
time. We were just talking about this on the weekly poll, like the fact that Groot had, when he first appears, he's a monster who's like going to attack people, and he speaks perfect English. Then later they establish that he is like Groot, a benevolent being of like
tree
people, and he still can speak eloquently. And then they retcon.
He was I am Groot.
Right.
Then he can speak eloquently.
Then he can speak eloquently when the Annihilation Wave and the Phalanx hit.
Right. He was talking, and he was like a pompous kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you, treat me this way?
Because Groot was like the monarch of Planet X, so he's like, technically I'm royalty, so like fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then after everyone died in the Cancerverse, like they brought him back, and he's like, and he's Groot again, but he's still smart. but in the movie he was much more dulled down.
Simple. Yeah, he was simple.
He's very childlike. I thought it was a fun addition though. I once again, like, every decision they made was made to service the movie we saw, as opposed to service the continuity it came from, or the fans that came to see XYZ, or a sequel or prequel to Avengers 2. Like, none of that. It was just every decision they made was to make a cool movie that we all want to go see and would make $65 million in opening weekend.
Well, what they wanted to do was just make a movie that you could go see if you know nothing about comics. You're just drawn in because Marvel made it. You don't have to know anything, and if it doesn't do well, it won't be tied to anything. It's just a solo thing.
Yeah, it doesn't ruin any other story if it's bad.
Yeah. If they fuck it up, who's gonna like cry? Nobody that you can hear. Like,
well, I mean, imagine if they had screwed it up horribly, right? And they incorporated it into the universe. So, like, the Iron Man showed up and grabbed the Infinity Gems, or it started the Avengers Initiative 2 or something crazy.
Oh God, yeah.
And then every time we would talk about this amazing Marvel project, we'd be like, all of them are great, but just skip over Guardians. You really don't need to know much about Guardians.
See Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll save my revelation until the end, but like, let's just say, I'm glad that we didn't have that many like references. I'm glad it didn't hinge on anything. It was just like, let's just let it be its own thing, and if it flies, it works, and if it doesn't, then who gives a shit? We have nothing to lose by doing this and just running with it. Any other nitpicks before we get into what we did like about the movie?
Yeah, no element gun.
No element.
Yeah, where was that?
The fuck? Yes. I was like, when Quill gets his present, and she's
I thought that was gonna be it.
Well, I go, that's pretty small for the element gun.
That's way too small a box to be a gun.
Well, I just thought they made the element gun really small. I was like, well, that's going to be a small element gun when they make it the element gun, because it couldn't possibly not be the element gun.
Oh, no, it's another freaking mixtape.
Yeah, now the fact that it was mixtape was, it made sense, narratively speaking. It was part of the story, and it was, like, I actually really liked it, despite the fact that I was really annoyed that it wasn't the element gun, because I'm like,
okay, wait, let me ask you this real quick. Let me ask you about that mixtape real fast.
Yeah.
Does anyone here believe that he would have survived, that Walkman would have survived for 26 years, and that he has batteries in space?
A Walkman, yes. I just assumed that it was heavily modified.
Yeah, I'm assuming that there's space technology in there to keep it around.
Yeah, that he like handed it to like that he. I mean, he's banged all across the galaxy. You'd think one of them would be a techie, and he'd be like, "Hey, my copper tops fucking died 30 years back. Can we rig this something else?"
All right, I'll give you that one, because there's no way the battery's gonna work, and it's not like they made a trip to Earth every couple of days. Get some batteries for his Walkman.
Yeah. Now, I definitely believe that a Sony Walkman from 1988 would still be working in 2014. I have no doubt about that. If he had an iPod, I'd have no doubt that shit would have been broken years ago. Similarly, if it was a CD player, he would have pitched that shit against a wall after like the 13th skip on Hooked on a Feeling. There's no way that would have worked out. But a Sony Walkman that you use for jogging, that you give to a kid because you know he's going to break that shit, that's going to take some damage.
You remember the Sony Walkman that was yellow and it had that clip that locked it closed?
I had that, yeah.
Yeah, that's still running today. My sister has one.
Yeah, exactly.
But where do you get cassette tapes?
Oh, you don't.
You just keep the ones you have.
Remember those ones I got in the 80s?
my personal copy of Ride the Lightning is still on a cassette.
All right, I've got a typo negative demo tape.
What?
Like it was one of the EP releases where they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna come out with a new album, but here's some songs off of that." It was right after October Rust.
Oh, okay.
And well, total tangent right there. But real quick, last nitpick.
Yes.
I felt Gamora was not as badass as she was supposed to be.
Nope, she really wasn't.
Yep, agreed.
She was a pushover, got her butt kicked. She looked like she was about to cry in the prison. I didn't like that. All she did was plead with Nebula the whole time, Nebula, please go help me. Please, our father's gonna... I didn't like how they portrayed her.
Like, that was weird. Like, she kicks more ass. We talked about this today. I'm really glad that the fight she had... Like, that's the only fight... Like, she does, like, her fighting Nebula wasn't the only fight she has. She does lay waste to a bunch of people. She does fight people. It's cool.
Especially during the prison break scene.
Yeah. But she's the emotional focal point of the movie. She is the heart of the picture, which is not Gamora.
No, it's not at all. Gamora is a stone cold bitch.
Yeah, Gamora is disconnected. She's like like if you crack that nut, like you are like the only person I've seen in the Guardians of the Galaxy from 2003 to now who's ever actually managed to reach Gamora is Angela.
Oh yeah. In the latest Guardians of the Galaxy, the one that came out yesterday.
She rescues Gamora from the Badoon, and she's like, Lady Angela, or she's like, Lady Gamora, let's do this shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the latest one, like, he calls up, and she's like, oh, well, come get us, Peter, because me and Angela, we're just getting bored here killing people. And he's just like, okay, cool.
Slaughtering the Badoon. Awesome. I didn't get that in this movie. But once again, like, I think this is just 31-year-old Sal who's just like, I'm just happy to see a fucking cool movie with spaceships.
But you know what? I just don't like how they picked the most lethal woman in the universe.
It's convenient that they picked the woman to make less badass. Like of course you chose Gamora to be the emotional focal point of the movie.
Because that's what audiences who don't understand the comic
are
going to relate to.
They're going to be confused if like Gamora's the badass and like Drax is sad. Like,
could you picture Drax? Goddamn Peter.
I mean, he was kind of like that anyway.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so I mean, the nitpicks really are just like no element gun. They really, kind of blended up the origins and fucking rearranged them however they wanted to, or threw them out with the bathwater. And
well, in the defense of that, I will say this: their origins pretty much don't even matter in the current Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the thing. Like Ben don't care.
No, like the Gamora origin, the Drax origin, they're out the window as far as this book is concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Gamora is, the daughter of Thanos. That's all you really need to know. And Drax, I don't think they've ever referenced what Drax's actual purpose is, other than, hey, we got a big green guy to beat up things.
Yeah, you really kind of don't need Drax. But I think he already died in Annihilation Wave, so it's like, you can't kill him again until a little while. Although they kill Thor every Thursday, so I don't know, man. Like, they could probably just kill Drax and replace him with a Hulk or something. I mean, really, he seems extraneous. He doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. He's not really that important. If everyone on your team is super strong, you don't need a quiet, strong guy also.
But now we've got all the bases covered.
Yeah, we got them all. Like, Gamora could do the Drax job, and she's a chick, so, I mean, whatever. I don't know.
I mean, he's a fun guy.
Yeah, he's...
In the comic.
I like Drax in the movie.
He's awesome in the comic,
Drax
too,
in the comic.
No, I like the comic version better.
I don't even give a shit.
Well, I think he spent an entire issue just yelling, I challenge you.
Yeah! Ooh, Gladiator, I challenge you. And then it's like, okay, we're going to kill you. You have to pick your death. Death by challenging you!
Exactly. That's all he said.
Fine, Drax. Jesus, I'll kill you over here. What the fuck? But we curse on my channel.
Well, that's the one thing. That's his... He's like, no! Shit!
Yeah.
I don't have anything else!
Yeah.
No, but hold on. I mean, it's even here, I think in this issue 17 right here. When they get the Drax, he's doing that still.
Yeah, he's still challenging fucking...
Well, you have chosen physical challenge as your form of execution. Shut your mouth, Gladiator. It's that's all, what? And they just jump at it.
Yep, and he's like, let's do it. And he gets his ass trounced, and then they rescue him. And he's like, I almost had him. And you're like, no, you didn't, Drax.
No, he says, I won, didn't I? And they're like, what?
Yeah, cheating isn't winning, Drax. Running away isn't victory. Okay, let's get that off the table. Let's talk about how much Guardians of the Galaxy fucking rocked and how...
Oh, it's amazing!
I think that Guardians of the Galaxy was better than Serenity.
My wife thinks that it was better than Avengers.
I agree with her.
Because she felt that an Avengers was just a pissing contest of who is more important and epic.
No.
But the Guardians just came together and did the mission.
The Avengers movie was about the team coming together, whereas Guardians of the Galaxy was about how fun and cool everyone was, and so let's get them together as quickly as possible.
Yep.
We didn't... James Gunn... It's funny, it seemed to me like James Gunn just didn't have fucking time to waste building this... he's just like, no. The Guardians of the Galaxy are about this great team, and let's just get them together, and then they are fun.
Look, they don't have to realize they're a team until the end, but they're a team throughout the entire movie.
Well, exactly. I think it was, 20 minutes in? They push aside... they fight at the first 10 minutes, and then, 15 minutes in, they're all resolving it, and at 20 minutes in, they're like, all right, we're a team, let's get out of prison.
Yeah, they don't even acknowledge their team. They're even at that point they're not even cognizant of the team they formulated. They're like, whoa, what's Drax coming along for? And they're like, just let him come along because trust me, it's gonna be a lot of fun later when we're friends with him. It's gonna be really interesting. That was great. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, like, it's Avengers and Guardians for me, man. Like they really have to. Marvel has to do a lot more than put their actors up on the stage in Hall H for me to get more excited about Avengers 2 versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like,
do you think there will be a Guardians 2 though? I mean,
oh,
we thought it was awesome, but
oh no, they've already greenlit it.
Oh.
Oh,
well, all right then.
The test audiences have already convinced Disney, let's do it. James Gunn has already set a date for Guardians 2. It's happening. And the fact that like the financial predictions for this weekend are $65 million for opening weekend for a movie that no one knew about.
What is it competing with?
Oh, no. Oh, Lucy? Like
Lucy and Hercules.
Yeah, Lucy. Yeah. It's also the last Marvel movie for like what, a year or so. So
I wonder if they plan it, because I was thinking about that, because our discussion today was Marvel superheroes. I mean, the Marvel Shield show is going to come out. So, I mean, when you put like Thor and Captain America back to back, and people are on a very limited budget, they're going to pick one superhero. But if you just say, "Here's Guardians," if you can't see Guardians before May,
you're seeing it. I almost kind of wish it came out around Christmas time, but I'm glad it didn't because it wasn't up against Hobbit. But like that would have been a great feeling to get. But also, you know what I mean? Like to have like I like seeing that one awesome action blockbuster on Christmas that like you don't really get, that they don't like. One person is usually has the balls to go like, here's something cool, you'll like it. Like I think they released one of the Pirates around Christmas time. I know that they released Avatar on Christmas, which like
I don't think last Christmas had anything.
No, it had a Hobbit. It had the Hobbits.
I see. Yeah. I didn't care. The middle. I've learned if it's a trilogy, don't watch the middle until the last part's out.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've learned that from all of these movies.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion, Ben? Because Sal and I are ranting and raving over here.
Well, I mean, to jump in real quick on this whole like wintertime movie thing. Yes, you get a lot of people that are going to go see a movie over the break.
Yeah.
But holy shit, is it so easy to get people in a theater in the summertime.
That's true.
Everyone's out. Everyone's like, hey, you want to go see a movie? We're out. It's nice. We can just hang out outside until it's time to go to the movie. Let's fucking do that.
That's true.
So that has to be one of the reasons why they're just like, no, let's release it in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
All these other movies are coming out. Like, springtime there are movies. There's going to be some movies later on. But, like, no, Guardians was fucking awesome for that.
Guardians was a great popcorn summer movie. It really was. Get your bag and just start munching away. And
I haven't bought popcorn for the movies in years. I bought popcorn before Guardians.
I spent $27 on concessions today.
I spent 15, so I'm ahead of you, sir. But I ate the bag, and it was delicious, and I was like, oh my god,
go, Drax, go!
Here's the thing, I saw Celestials in this movie. Fucking Celestials.
Oh, the godlike thing! And I'm like, yes. Is it a builder or Celestial? Which is it?
With a fucking power gem, I'm like, nowhere's in the head of a Celestial. I'm like, this is happening. I am seeing a friggin' movie with
this is a universe.
Yeah,
this is a full-filled universe that has been realized.
Yeah, I am seeing some shit right now. I don't even need Galactus. Like, I'm sad that he wasn't referenced, but it would have been a throwaway. They wouldn't have had him in there.
No, he would have been a giant enemy.
But that's the thing. There's still room. There's still room for Fox to fail, and then they can put Galactus in, and it'll be amazing. But like the galaxy's so big, there's room for Ronan to be a major player bad guy. There's room for Thanos. There's room for Celestials and Kree, and we didn't see the Supreme Intelligence, but and
I
that's
thought I
bad.
did, and then I realized it was just Thanos on the screen.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. By the way, Thanos is in this movie.
Oh,
I had always heard he was doing a cameo, and when I say cameo, I assumed it was going to be like on the wall and shit. No, a scene with Thanos in the fucking movie, and Josh Brolin did a great job.
Yeah,
I really like. The more he's talking, and the more he's like, he's just sitting on the throne, passing judgment, and like he's letting Ronan fucking just run his mouth, and just being like, yeah, all right.
You're like a child. What are you doing here?
Yeah, like, all right, kiddo, you're gonna do that. You're gonna take my power gem and go. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, but in the end of the day, I'm gonna kill you. So
but you know what? I'm sitting here thinking about it because you're doing the whole reflection period.
Yeah.
They actually did. They did an amazing job. They did establish this into the main universe.
Yep.
Because if you don't know comic books, I think even you've read enough at this point, Ben, you understand. You know what the gems do, right?
Well, he's read Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay, you've read Infinity, so you know the potential power of it. And you know Thanos. Yes. But if you are just watching the movies, you have no idea. You just see people collecting gems. This movie shows us what everyone's been doing. Yep. What all these gems do.
Yeah. This movie has, like, this is
It shows us Thanos. It shows us Thanos' army. The guy that was at the end of that other movie that was like,
that was so great that they killed him because he's so stupid. And he's just, oh, what do you have to say for yourself, Terry? I'm like, oh, no, I die. Like, okay, like, yeah, you're gone. Like, it was fun to have him in there, but it was also great to kill him because he's so lame. And, oh, shit.
And to have him killed for running his mouth off.
Yeah, that was great.
Like, it's not like he was a big enemy. It's just like, you're really pissing me off.
You are annoying me.
Die.
And and Thanos is not paying attention to me because he's talking through you. I need to get his attention. Fucking, did you catch the Infinity Gauntlet, like, from the comic, shot of Thanos on the throne, sitting in the middle of space? Like, that shot of him on the throne is like that promo shot of Thanos from
they've been setting up that gauntlet, and I think the goal is to have it in Avengers 3. But this is great, because if you go see this, you could be like, oh my god, that is what the Avengers are going to fight? And they establish that Peter Quill is stronger than, like, you know, Iron Man and Tony Stark and stuff as a person. So you're like, that is what Captain America has to fight? How is he going to do this? You know?
Yeah, I am really jazzed. Like, Thanos was so cool without being silly.
Yeah.
That, like, honestly, like, that was the only moment that made me looking forward to Avengers movies. I was like, man, I'm kind of excited to see what the Avengers are going to do when this guy shows up. Like, that's going to be really pimp. Because it's going to be because they're going to get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And it's going to be friggin' awesome. And then I was like, oh shit, and then we're going to see the Hulk fight him, and that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so much fun because the Hulk's going to get the upper hand for, like, the first 20 seconds. And then Thanos is going to just flick him away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the cool part about Ronan. Like, Drax goes up against it, Ronan's just like, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. You know that Rob is going to be really upset about Ronan the Accuser.
Oh, he's going to be upset about the portrayal of a lot of those characters, because these are the obscure characters that Rob follows.
This is Rob's Avengers. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, by the way, Marvel Explained, you should check it out on YouTube. It's a great show. The fact that, you know, it's funny, like, I am, like, I'm just letting you know real quick that we're currently running at, I don't know how you want to cut this, but 33 minutes. Oh, I won't really cut too much. Okay. Unless you're happy, unless you want me to. Whatever you want to do is. It's pretty much going to be like this. Us talking. Well, ignore what I just said about making cuts, folks, because apparently we're not making any. Scratch. We're going balls out. Right. We're coming hard for you on Marvel time. I don't know why I'm saying these things. Let's move on to Rocket Raccoon, who was let's talk about fucking awesome. Oh my god, I loved him. That was I was expecting to love Rocket Raccoon. They kind of retconned him. But they left it open enough that you could just be, oh, that's fine, you know? Yeah. They retconned a lot of his stuff, but his original origin fits into what he was retconned to do, you know? Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And his affliction...
Yeah. Like his, like what happened to him?
Like, the entire issue that he has being created...
Yeah.
...is so mind-blowing because he has a huge issue with that.
Yeah.
Mirrored against his love for Groot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he hates himself, he loves Groot, and he's just such a rounded character.
Yeah.
There's so much depth to it.
Unexpectedly rich was Rocket Raccoon. Tiffany was just pointing this out in the car on the way over here. She was just like, she's like, they actually put in, like, part of the reason why Rocket connects with and accepts Groot so quickly is because Groot can only say, I am Groot. He can never condescend or refer to Rocket as anything inferior. So, like, for that, Rocket has, like, a real true affinity for Groot because he can't say, like, he can't ever say the wrong thing around him, which I think is... because Rocket understands him in the movie. That's true, but at the same time... I think Groot treats him differently because Groot's origin is that he actually killed one of his brothers defending the mammals, defending the things that took care of him. Yeah. And Rocket is the size of a maintenance mammal, and Rocket needs to be taken care of, so Groot's taking care of Rocket. Yeah, I love that they
Like they didn't touch on their origins. They just acknowledged a couple of things, and you're like, oh, okay,
works for me.
Yeah.
I love how Rocket has no idea what raccoons are.
Yes, I love that.
Amazing. I'm like, you're right. He would never be there. He'd never even hear the word. And I love that. Just what's a raccoon? Well, it's what you are. So get used to it. That's what you're called. There's 1,000 of you in my backyard right now. I have to put bungee cords on my garbage can to prevent your people from taking my trash.
Here's something my wife asked, and I couldn't answer it.
Well,
Groot sacrifices himself again, right?
yes.
Rocket Raccoon has a very emotional moment because he lost Groot.
Yeah.
They don't really establish that you can just regrow Groot. We don't even see them pick up the seeds of Groot and get him regrown.
Well, we see him pick up his stick, like a piece of it.
And he holds on to
and
one.
he holds it, and he just... I feel like... Okay, first of all...
Because she was asking, she's like, if he knew he could regrow Groot...
Then why is he so sad?
Right, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know, because it happens all the time in the comics. And
Yeah.
like, that's what they do.
Here's what I'll say about that. Number one, when they were suiting up and Groot takes that piece of himself off, I thought he was like, I'm not walking away from this fight. I'm going to plant myself so that when they come back, I'll be back.
Right.
Like, I'll die in this fight. So I was like, Groot's going to die anyway. Here he comes. Like, here's Groot's getting ready to die. Since that was not what happened.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's a deleted scene.
Right, but you see Rocket pick up a piece and then he sticks the stick in the soil and he just holds it.
And he's walking around
I think that this is the first time that Groot dies.
I think that's a memorial.
And I think it's just like a sad expression of his sorrow. I think he's just like, I'm so upset. I'm so like beside myself with grief that I'll try anything. So he just sticks a piece of him in there. And I think they cut a shot
Where he
like
realized it?
There's a lot of cuts in that movie, and you can and so I feel like there must be a shot in between there where he gets the impression that it's actually working. And so
because on the ship, like Groot wakes up and stretches, and Rocket doesn't seem even too shocked. He's just
he's
like, oh.
which means there must have been a shot already. And you know what? You got two CG characters that are going to interact with each other. That sounds like a $50,000 deleted scene to me. Let's just not even shoot that shit and move on. But it's too bad because that's really like what Rocket getting drunk and Rocket losing Groot are one of the two saddest one of 2 of 3 or 4 of the saddest moments in this movie.
Yeah. No, I
What
agree.
by the way, what an Up opening. Like, what a Pixar's Up opening for this movie. Let's watch our protagonist's mother die of cancer.
And let's let the grandfather entirely ignore the child and throw him out of the room.
Oh,
So that he can grieve for his daughter.
And
like,
not stay with him.
no, holy shit.
Yeah, no, that opening, I was like, wow, we're just going there. We're just starting it right up.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go to a place that is not even near the comics.
Yeah.
And it's gonna like
because in the
If
comics,
in the comics-
it's not a slow, drawn-out death that Peter has to deal with. It's
just gets
she gets shot in the back. He finds a shotgun, and he's like, "Yeah!"
yeah, no, we don't get that shit. We just watch him slowly watch his mother die, and then he fucking runs outside, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Ginger-headed kid.
Yeah, that was brutal. Rough, man. I loved, by the way, the title opening when just that perfect wide shot, little Peter Quill, and then Guardians of the Galaxy, and him just dancing along underneath it. I'm like, this movie's great. I am so in.
Yeah.
I'm so in.
You get to see
And
him
they
like
really-
going through everything, and then he jumps in, pops the music on.
Ugh,
He's singing with the little rodent thing. Like
that was awesome. That set the tone. That reset the tone for the movie.
That sets who Peter Quill is.
Yep, who he became. I'm totally in.
And, oh my God, Chris Pratt. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris Pratt,
Thank
man.
you
What
so
inspired
much.
fucking
I
cast.
saw an interview where he's like, I hadn't even seen the movie until 2 weeks ago because so much CG and everything goes into this. You don't know if what you did is crap. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's fair. But he did a great job, man. He is the new Tony Stark for me.
Yeah.
He hasn't
How do
replaced
you feel?
Robert.
How do you feel about Nova and the Nova Corps and them
I
potentially
really
getting to
was
Nova?
kind of disappointed with them.
I feel like there's nothing really you could do with the Novas at this point, so why not make them like the Green Lantern Corps?
I guess,
I mean-
yeah, that's kind of the direction they're going with it. There's a lot of them. They all teamed up together.
They you know what? Their use at the end where they're with the net. With the net, I called it the Phalanx. Because it's the Spartan Phalanx. But like, yeah, the net that they created, awesome. Looked great. You really felt bad for like some of those Nova guys. Like, it was pretty good. Like,
They pretty much all died.
oh yeah, and you got.
I thought the planet was gonna die. I thought Ronan was going to do it, and then we'd have like a couple remaining people. And I already had it all in my head. I'm like, Ronan's going to touch ground. He's going to clear the planet out. That's what's going to happen. And then our end bumper scene is going to be Richard Rider, like, recovering from the destruction.
Yeah, and he's the sole Nova.
Right.
I think we're still going to see that shit, but, like, it won't be for a while. I don't know if I even want to see a Nova movie at this point, because I feel like it can be kind of like...
My assumption is that Thanos is going to come back and lay waste to the place.
Now, Thanos may kill them just to...
Well, yeah, the gem is there, you're right. Because you know what?
The gem is there, and the fact that, like, his kids... Well, mainly the Nebula, like, died on the planet.
Well, did she die?
No, she got away. She cut her arm off.
On that ship? Nah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the spaceship.
Yeah. Plus, like when they blew her away, which was awesome, Tiffany was like, "Did they just kill Nebula like in a half shot?" And I'm like, maybe. This is the kind of movie where that could happen. And they show her all mangled and shit, and you're like,
"Oh, I like that." She's like,
"That makes sense."
Yeah, that was cool. I was like,
"You know what that reminded me of? Apocalypse."
Yeah.
But you know what, Ben? You make a really good point, because ending the movie the way they did leaves it on an up note, and there's no questions if they didn't get a sequel.
Oh yeah.
But now they can open the next one if they wanted to, with Thanos coming down, laying waste, and then
killing all the Novas, and then Richard Rider or Sam.
Yeah.
Being.
You hate Sam so much.
Fuck Sam. Like, and you know what's funny? Like, I feel bad. Like, somebody told me this the other day. Jeff Loeb created the Young Nova. Jeff Loeb became a bad writer after his son died. His son's name is Sam. And I was like, oh, like he created this young character with like a, a hero father, and he named him after his son. Like, that makes me feel bad. Like,
but I disagree with you. I like Sam.
Oh, that's funny. I don't. Well, my first introduction to Sam is actually the horrible Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
It was mine too, and I was like, wow, he's a dick. Let's check out this comic.
Yeah. You know what, though? Original Sin number 0, which is him and the Watcher, is great.
It is! And I've got the other books here. I haven't gone through them yet, but like the continuation of him finding out about his dad.
You know what's... I don't even give a shit about his dad, but like that whole issue paralleling Watcher and his father was great. And you know what? That was Mark Waid. That was the writer of Kingdom Come. That's the guy who's writing the fucking greatest like run of Daredevil since friggin' like before Kevin Smith. Like, it's, it's great. But that's the only time I was like, man, I really feel bad and feel for and like this Sam Alexander character. That said, I really miss Richard Rider, and I'm looking forward to the next issue of Guardians of the Galaxy, where we finally find out what the fuck happened to that guy.
See, I saw that, and I was like, I thought they were explaining that in Original Sin Nova. Like,
yeah, no, it's Original Sin Guardians, where they're gonna tell us what happened to.
Because it's a part of the whole Cancerverse and everything, isn't it?
Yep, it's because like the only guys in the Cancerverse were Star-Lord, Richard Rider, and Thanos. So it's like 2 of them got out. What happened to Richard Rider?
Yeah. But we also don't even know how they got out. Even his father is like, "Hey, I hear you died. Like,
yep.
What's up?
Yeah,
what's up with that?"
I know something about the Cancerverse. It's a little vague, and Star-Lord's like, "Yeah,
that happened. See you later."
That is friggin' Bandis, because like I don't have time to explain shit that happened 10 years ago. We gotta sell movie tickets here, fellas. We gotta make a fun story.
That issue? This issue is the ultimate book if you want to pick it up from the movies.
Yeah.
Because all it is them reassembling the team.
Yep.
And then getting ready to move forward.
Yep, and reestablishing who they all are and what their personal struggles are. Yep.
Did you guys do an off the rack on this yet?
On Guardians?
Yeah. Because I want your opinions on the
I've done Sal Says What on 2 issues of Guardians of the Galaxy, but like I'd be happy to we could do another one. It's just yeah.
Well, because in this one, and I think this is why it took 2 months to come out, the art shifts midway through.
And that is a real damn shame.
It is.
And by the way, Mike Omeg, I think, or Omeg does the rest.
We go from like this, like the really realistic artwork.
Yep.
That we're used to.
It goes from Nick Bradshaw to Omeg.
Yeah, and then we go to
Omeg.
It kind of reminds me of
Chris Samney.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, it does look like very Tartakovsky looking.
Yeah. Do you know why that happened?
Bradshaw probably just took too fucking long drawing the book.
Is there a possibility he could have been injured?
Maybe.
The book was delayed 2 months, so for them to shift artists and everything out of the blue...
Yeah. Either Bradshaw had shit to do, or like he had too many plates spinning in the air, or like I don't know, but the reason for the change is not because of the story. Like, it's not a tonal shift, so we need to do this. It's not an anniversary issue, so they're not paying homage to like some classic artist. It is just a filler. Like, he can't do the rest of the book. We need this guy to do the rest of the book.
Right.
And they asked a prominent, like, niche comic author artist to do it. So it's like, so the fans wouldn't feel so cheated. That said, I felt really cheated.
I did too, because I was reading through it, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, hey, you really should check out this book if you liked the Guardians movie. The book's not too bad. And I'm like, but the art went crazy. What the hell happened?
Yeah, and the Guardians of the Galaxy art has always been 100% from the get-go. From issue 0 until they picked up freaking Venom. It had been great.
Oh yeah, the Venom art was weird with the mouth, with the smiles and stuff that kept popping up.
That's literally, there is no editorial control over there when it comes to Venom. People are like, I want to draw Venom like this. Well, he looks like this. Well, I'm going to draw him like this. Like, they changed Venom's costume during Paul Jenkins's run on Marvel Knights Spider-Man, and Terry Dodson, I think, the Dodson husband and wife artist duo did the art for that book, and they rechanged. Eddie Brock gave up the symbiote, and Matt Gallagher, the Scorpion, got the symbiote, ultimately. And the Venom costume changed for the first time from the one that you know, from like Venom Returns, to the one that people hated drawing until...
Flash Thompson got it, right?
Until pretty much Flash Thompson took it, until after Secret Invasion. I've always hated that freaking redesign, and you know who else hated it? Joe Quesada, whenever they asked him to draw Venom. Every time that Joe Quesada drew Venom, he just drew the old one. And it's like, dude.
That's like what happened with Feral Wolverine. I ain't drawing Feral Wolverine.
I ain't drawing that shit.
I'm drawing no Wolverine.
Yeah, he's got a nose. In my book, he has a nose. That literally, okay, so like Magneto pulled out his adamantium, like all the adamantium off his bones.
Okay.
And that's when they retconned in the idea that, like, number 1, he has bone claws, and number 2, that, like, the adamantium had been keeping his de-evolution at bay. So, like, for the next 10 or 20 issues, like, Wolverine got, like, more feral and shorter, and his nose started to, like, go away.
He's not Wild Child.
No, he's not Wild Child. From Age of Apocalypse.
But midway through that little, like, story arc of him going feral, they switched artists, and the other artist is like, I want to draw old Wolverine.
Yep.
So you would literally go like every other issue, feral, not feral. Feral, not feral.
Yeah. And it was so funny because, like, they did I think Comic Book Resources did an article about that, and they were just like, it's almost to the point where, like, we remember that he had no nose, but officially he never didn't have a nose because it was so inconsistent.
Yeah, well, I think eventually they just drew him like normal again and just ignored the whole entire plotline.
Oh yeah. No, they just eventually. I don't remember who it was, but somebody took over, and he dropped the feral thing. He just drew Wolverine as Wolverine with no adamantium claws.
Yeah.
And that was when, like, Bob Harris, probably, from the X-Men editorial, was just like, fuck it. Like, just give him his freaking claws back.
This is mid-90s. They were doing anything to try and sell
They were doing it. Well, that was like, the ship was sinking, and they're like, whatever, if giving him his adamantium claws will plug the hole in this sinking ship, work on it. Put Peter Parker back in the costume. Just, please, we're losing money, hand over fist. Sell the rights, make a fucking, like, make movies. Make movies.
Sell the movies to Fox and Sony. That'll go over so well.
They'll never keep them to themselves like a belligerent, petulant child and not play ball with us.
We had a beer, and they said if we want to make movies, it's good.
Yep. Yeah. Now, that said, those two movies, it's so funny that those two movies kind of are single-handedly responsible for the comic book movie renaissance. Like, X-Men by Bryan Singer and Spider-Man from Sam Raimi like, are two very different but genre-bending transcendental movies. Like, those movies,
I wouldn't watch them now. I wouldn't watch them now.
They're bullshit.
No. Yeah, now they're horrible. But you're right. If they didn't exist, we wouldn't be where we are now.
But I have to give a shout out to the true MVP of Marvel movies. The one that kicked it off, took their source material seriously, The people who are making the movie were like, we're making a movie. It has roots in comics. We're going to make references to those, but we're going to like really respectfully interweave them into a cool narrative and make no jokes about it. It's not Batman and Robin here.
Punisher, right?
No.
that was really good though. I liked Punisher Warzone.
I also like Punisher.
I also like Punisher too.
It wasn't bad. You're like, it's a guy who's gonna shoot people with a skull in his chest. It works.
And Tom Jane knocked it out of the park. The guy who directed it, I think it was I don't give a shit who that was. He was like, I'm making kind of like a Western movie, and like it worked. And
I'm just talking about the fact that like it was not one of the first ones.
Oh no, it was one of like the middle ones.
It was. Yeah.
No.
Oh, the first Punisher was horrible. Just like the first Hulk by Ang Lee was like, what are you doing? Why are there Hulk dogs?
that was a fucking nightmare. No, the movie I'm talking about is Blade.
No, Blade wasn't bad.
Blade was the first one. Blade was the first movie to show the Marvel logo. Blade was the first movie to take it seriously and use an A-list actor to play the main character.
And they didn't make a comic book movie.
No.
They made a vampire movie. And because Blade is about vampires.
Yeah. Yes, and it's about a superhero vampire who fights vampires. But like and he looks like Blade from the comics. Like Blade was the first one that made money back, that didn't treat it like a stupid fucking joke, and paid respect to the source material. Hey everybody, unfortunately we were unable to actually wrap up the episode in any formal capacity. The wonders of modern technology precluded us from doing so, but I want to make it abundantly clear, if 1 hour of us yammering on about everything but Guardians of the Galaxy can convey to you that we loved the movie. Obviously, it's been a few days since the movie came out. We're still gushing about it. We're still huge fans of it. Benny, and myself loved the movie. We can't wait to go see it again, and we hope you guys enjoyed us kind of yammering on about it a little bit. But more importantly, what do you guys think of Guardians of the Galaxy? If you haven't already seen it, please go see it. Hopefully you didn't get spoiled by this episode, but if you have seen it, let us know in the comments down below, or make a video response to this episode using the hashtag LHGOG. That's LH for Little House and GOG for Guardians of the Galaxy. On behalf of both Benny and Ben and myself, I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next time on TV Little House and, of course, Comicstorian. So long, everybody.